Good afternoon, everybody. Firstly, I would like to request you to excuse me for being a little late. Unfortunately, after we had declared the timing for this meeting, somehow the divisional commissioner of Nagpur called for a power committee meeting, and which I and Goenka ji are part of. So we had to rush there. It was a very last-minute information that we had given. So I had expected that at least we will complete that meeting by 4 and we could do it, and at least I was able to make it to this place. Goenka ji will shortly join us by about 4:30 or 5, because there also some lot of important deliberations are happening on how to reduce the power tariff. So and that might happen anytime soon. So some important meeting resulted into this delay. So let me start today's meeting. The focus on today's meeting is basically on open access. We all know that open access is a new concept, and not many people are so comfortable with open access or have been using open access for some odd reason or the other. The most prominent being the complexity involved, the uncertainty involved, and basically the kind of practices which MSEDCL had earlier, because of their little tough practices, and just that belief hasn't come whether that kind of system can work or not. So many people have been opting away from or avoiding open access, I will say, not opting away but avoiding open access, for the reason that they want that regular comfort of MSEDCL to go on. But today we are here to basically try to correct those wrong impressions which some people carry. So to do away with that and how to use it to your optimum benefit, and to take maximum benefit out of this open access policy and the power saving method that we can use using open access, is what we are here to discuss for. The potential being very, very high today, we all are aware that ultimately power tariff is pretty high. So the biggest open access charge that one has to pay is 1 rupee 9 paisa for a non-continuous, which is cross subsidy surcharge, and 1 rupee 49 paisa for a continuous unit as cross subsidy surcharge. That's one of the biggest component. Fortunately, last year, our Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis, the Honorable Devendra Fadnavis ji, had already announced that Vidarbha will be made cross subsidy surcharge free. Basically, he had already announced last year, though it has not been implemented, and we are very, very hopeful that another 4 or 5 days, probably it might be done. Probably, again, I'm using the word. So we are not sure, but if it is done, it offers a very, very big potential. Mundra ji says that hardly there is any chance for that to. I know. It's true that it was 21st December when he had announced last year, and I hope that 21st December 2015 he implements it. If it doesn't happen this session, even I will have my own doubts if it happens or not. But anyway, that is one big benefit which was being passed to Vidarbha, where cross subsidy surcharge waiver was supposed to be promised to Vidarbha and Marathwada, I guess, so that industrialization, a wave of industrialization happens in this region. We all know that any underdeveloped region, which Vidarbha, we are supposed to say that we all know that it's an underdeveloped region. If it has to develop, it is not in a position to subsidize other people or even farmers or agriculture or any other sector. So we had opted, or we had requested, and that request was accepted by CM last year, but somehow it has not been implemented. But if it implemented, it will give a further saving to what we can get today. But how do you get open access saving? Why you get an open access saving? Today what is happening in Maharashtra is basically that the power is purchased at a cost of about 4 rupee 25 paisa by the state discom, and it is being distributed at an average cost of about 6 rupees 10 paisa among everyone. So that is the average cost of power supply to everyone, and at a purchase cost of 4 rupee 20 paisa. But if you go to the market, if you go to a private player today, anybody would be ready to sell you power at 3 rupees 35 paisa, 3 rupees 30 paisa or so. So basically, the purchase cost goes down by a rupee, and then whatever charges you are supposed to pay as wheeling or transmission or losses, everything put together, also make sure that your power cost remains lesser than what the MSEDCL offer. The second biggest element that exists is the element of FAC. We all know FAC brings a lot of variability to our power tariff. It ranges from -3 paisa to 1 rupee 40 paisa. So imagine, like, I have a consumption of 80 lakh units, and if a 1 rupee 40 paisa is charged to me, on that month I lose 1.5 crore rupees. So that's the kind of uncertainty which exists with open access, with MSEDCL power, which is not there in MSEDCL, in open access. So that means your power remains very at a fixed price for the agreement period at least, if between the buyer and seller everybody remains in sync. So that is the kind of benefit that one can see. So there are certain tools and there are certain prohibitions in the minds of people that which we are here today to clarify. There are two more elements important in open access. One is the element of RPO. So for that we have Girdharji who will throw light on how to use solar as a for fulfilling your own RPO obligation. I will also give a small presentation, then he'll supplement it with his own idea about solar power. Third more important aspect in open access is the monitoring. That aspect will be